Hey everybody, Jimbo here. Welcome back to the King Metals YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a simple handrail. Now this is just going to be a sample handrail, if you will. It's only going to be about 40 inches long, but I just want to show you how easy it is to build something like this using the components and products from the King Metal website. Let's get started on today's video. Okay, so here's what we're going to be working with today. Today we got some rolled form stamped top and bottom rails right here. We've got some balusters right here with collar decor on. We also have got some cap rail right here, and 2 1/4 inch cap rail, and then we've got some lamb's tongue volutes right here. This is going to matching detail for the cap rail that will be welded to the ends. And we're also going to be using some 1 1/4 hot rolled for the posts. And then I've got some base plates right here that we'll be welding to post 2. And then of course we've got shoes 1 1/4 that fit over top of the base plates as well. So that's what we're going to be working with today. There's lots of options on the website for all different kinds of things, but this is just what we're going to be using today. Only one other thing too I want to point out is for more lightweight and delicate installation to the balusters, we've got these little shoes that go on like this, and they can be mounted to a variety of different things for lightweight use right here. We won't be using these today, but we will be using all the rest of the stuff. So let's get started on today's video. All right, so the first thing I'm doing, I'm over at the cutoff saw right here, and I'm cutting the legs and the bottom rail to length here. Now this is the 1 1/4 square tube, and you can use any size you want for the application you're using. This is for demonstration purposes. The 1 1/4 is a common size, and this is going to work pretty good. All right, so I got the legs right here, and I'm welding on this 3-inch square base plate. And the reason I'm using 3 inch is I've got a shoe that's going to go over the top of this 1 1/4 and cover this base plate. And that's just a good way of hiding it. This is just one way of installing a handrail or some railing is with a base plate. And just welding this all the way around. You can see right here the 1 1/4. I've got it centered up on that base plate. I'm just tacking it on either side so it doesn't move around on me when I weld this thing all the way out. Just a small little weld all the way around just like that. And then here are the shoes, and they go right over the top, and you can see how they cover that up when you mount it to the surface that you're mounting it to. All right, this is the bottom rail, and I've got the punched molded rail on the bottom there, and I've got a piece of 1-inch square tube on the top as a support to straighten it out. And I'm just putting a couple of tacks on here, maybe a 1/2 inch or 1 inch wide, about 6 to 8 inches apart. And this is going to act as the bottom rail here. All right, with that all done, it's time for some assembly, and you can see I got my table legs set up on the welding table. We're squared both sides here, and I've got the top rail, and that's the one I want to weld on first right now is the top rail. And you can see that I've got it shimmed up. You will see it here in a minute. I've got to shim it up a little bit because of it's like 1.5 inches, and this is 1 1/4 tube, so I'm trying to center that rail on there. And once I got it all where it needs to be, then we're good to go. This is the bottom rail, and now I've not welded the bottom rail on yet. I'm sticking the balusters in there, and you can see I've pre-cut them to a length of about 42 inches there. And then I will slide everything down, and once I got the bottom rail where it needs to be, nice and tight in there, then I'm just going to go ahead and weld it. A really quick way of doing it. This is a really fast way of doing it. If you had a lot of production work, let's say you had a lot of footage of this stuff, boy, it would go by really fast, and everything is nice and perfectly straight and plumb. It's really a good way of doing handrails, gates, fences, or whatever you may have. All right, there it is, quickly put together and assembled. Now, you don't have to weld all the way around. I do, just because that's the way I do things. If it was open, it would have room for water to escape because that's not sealed off at the very bottom. But hey, that's just the way I am, and I just like to weld things all the way around. But there's just a short sample right there of you know, how you can make a handrail, how it can look real good with the components they have at King Metals. All right, this is the cap rail, 2¼ inch cap rail, and I'm just cutting a piece to size right here. And then of course this is the matching volute lamb's tongue. Now, I happen to have 2 of these. I'm gonna put 2 on, one on both sides here, just because I have it. Your application may not require one on either side. A handrail might be up against if you're installing it, might be up against a wall or a post or a building or something like that where you don't need to. But in this case, just for demonstration purposes, I've got them. I'm going to go ahead and weld them on. You know, they are cast iron, so they, you know, sometimes they don't weld real good, and you've got to get a good weld around there. But once you get everything welded all the way around, they stay on there nice and tight. Now, the tricky thing about this is you're going to see once I get this all welded around, now you've got a weld that you got to deal with. Of course, you don't want to leave that. So you get a grinder or a flap disc, and you just kind of smooth things out to the you know, to the same elevation, so everything looks like it's all the same. Now, this particular grinder, I don't have a guard on it because I need to get it a lot of detail. I got to see what I'm doing. I've got some angles. I got some really small lines that I got to try to match, and I've got to be able to maneuver that really precisely. And you can see I'm trying to get in there and get things shaped up. And so, but it doesn't take much, and you can see there it is. And although it looks like that, but once it's painted or powder coated, you're not even going to be able to tell. All right, well, there you go. A simple sample of how to make a handrail using products from King Metals. You know, whether it's 40 inches, 40 feet, or 400 feet, this is just an easy way and a quick way to put together handrails. Especially using their preformed slotted top and bottom rail like this makes it really quick and easy and fast. All the slots are spaced out equally and easy to install the balusters, which, by the way, these balusters have collars on them. In their catalog, they got tons of different kinds of balusters for any type of handrail, stairwell, or fencing, that whatever you may need. You know, the convenience here for me is I live close to the LA facility. There are 3 facilities, by the way. There's LA, Dallas, and Baltimore. I live very close to the LA facility, 20 minutes from my shop right here. So all the decor that you see on my previous videos with gates and handrails and stairs and whatever, fencing, all that decor comes from King Metals because it's convenient for me. It's right down the street. However, for you, 3 facilities around the United States, typically anywhere in the United States, 2 to 3 day delivery turnaround time. If you need something, they can get it shipped out to you, and you should typically have it within 2 to 3 days. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.